Hey, Misty Lee, Campground TBD, and my favorite nonprofit, HaydensRay.org. And today I'm talking to you about some of the questions I use with my private clients anytime that we're going through any frustration, writer's block, creativity block, or we simply want to intentionally find a place of where we want to focus for growth, elevation, new education, because constantly we want to be learning and stretching ourselves with intention rather than waiting for life to bring us problems. So here's some questions that I like to use. Anytime I've ever done this, I've been able to get clarity. I've been able to expand in my thought process, and I see this happen time after time after time with my clients. So here we go. I hope you'll do this on paper. That is what differentiates us from those who simply talk about it and think about it. We are the ones who do that extra step of putting it in writing. From the Bible to any teacher there is, they're going to tell you to write it down and make it so plain that you have no choice but to align with it. You can call that manifestation, you can call it alignment, you can call it frequency, you can call it vibration, you can call it your miracles from God. What it is us being ready to receive the magic and miracles that we absolutely are expected to receive. That's what they're here for. Question number 1, what is it that I want? What do I want? Now, this can be a baby goal. I want to lose 10 pounds. It can be a big goal. I want $100,000. It can be a goal that you want to go on some dates. It could be, you choose the goal, but it needs to be something that you'll know when it has occurred. So you can't just say, I want to lose some weight. So don't eat today. Tomorrow morning you'll be a little bit less and just call. So is that good enough? No, you have a specific thing that you're kind of shooting for. It could also be that things like I want to max out my IRA this year, or I want to get 25 new clients. Whatever it is, as long as it's measurable enough that we can know when it's done, that you yourself and possibly another person can go, aha, Misty, that was your goal. So what do I want with clarity? The second things I ask you to do is take some time with this. List 10 things that will be different when you have that thing, experience, time, expectation, whatever that thing was that you wanted. When you have that, what are 10 things that will be different about your life? Now, the first one might be easy. Well, I'll have more money in my bank account. Okay, what else? Well, I'll be able to pay all my bills on time. Okay, what else? I will have helped some other people, break through some limiting beliefs. Okay, what else? And you keep doing that. The longer you go down this list, the more depth you'll have about the energy of what you're going to receive. And ideally, hopefully, you're going to say things like, I'll be able to max. So for example, I'll be able to max out my IRA, which provides me with security for my future, giving me time to relax into starting this new business and therefore chasing my dream and realizing it in my real time. So that would be a way that you could look at it. You want to keep going as long as you can so that your body can begin to feel, man, that's going to feel amazing when I check that off. Yes. So you keep going down that list. Again, I try to get 10 things that will be different. And you might be using this to compare between, do I want to take this goal first or do I want to take this goal first? A lot of times we can do things at the same time, but sometimes we're making such a transition, we have to decide, do I want to go left or right? And this helps me decide which one will be more on my path. So if I can only come up with 2 things that would be better if I did this, but I can come up with 20 things that would be better if I do this one, this might be the better choice for me right now. But this exercise helps us get to that. So once I've got the 10 things that are going to be different, and hopefully it includes, I'm going to get some new boots, I'm going to buy new clothes, I'll be able to pay off my car, I'll have the freedom to buy my house, I'll have whatever it is for you, I'll be able to fit into these clothes, I'll be able to run better, faster, live longer, whatever it is. Now we get to the next piece. What 20 things am I willing to do to make that thing happen? Period. I commit to making it happen. And what 20 things are there? So the first ones are going to be easy. Oh, I could work more. I could, exercise more. I could take my lunch. I could prep my lunches on the weekend. I could carpool. I could get a coach. Most of my one-on-one clients, possibly all of my one-on-one clients, have come from someone doing this experience and saying, now I know what I need to do. And I know that having accountability, someone to hold me accountable and help me get out of my own way, maybe that's the thing I need to commit to. But what 20 things will I commit to? Will I commit to turning the TV off? Will I commit to unplugging the TV and just saying, you're going in the closet until I reach this goal? That's how much it means to me. Am I willing to say I will skip out to eat for the next 30 days because having that extra amount of money is going to help me reach this goal? That's how much I commit to it. Do I commit to giving up my Sunday morning watching the football games because I need to prepare my food so that I can eat healthier, save money, spend less less time going back and forth to get my food and really focus on this goal. But 20 things I'm willing to do no matter what. If you're having a bad day and you try to interfere with my 20 things, I say to you, hey, I love you, but this is a sobriety issue for me. I made a commitment to myself. I will not spend money on out to eat for the next 30 days. So I can support you and go to the park, and I'll eat my lunch and you eat yours. And I'd love to sit down and have a conversation with you, but I don't want to go out to eat with you today. Alternatively, you can go out with them and just say, I'm having tea today. I've chosen to not spend money on out to eat, so I've already eaten just before I got here. Thank you. But there's ways that we can control ourselves, but we simply have made a commitment. This is what I said I'm going to accomplish, and I'm 100% committed to that. If you're having a bad day, I want to support you. Let me just finish what my daily task is toward my goal. So what do you want? What will change in your life, which is establishing why you want it, okay? We don't just want a certain amount of money. We don't want just a certain amount of weight on the scale. There's something we want to feel. There's something we want to experience. There's some need that's going to be met. Sometimes it's security. Maybe your big goal is a savings account of a certain amount of money. There's a reason that we want that, and it's security for today. It's security for the future. It also helps us turn our nervous system off, that there's nothing to be worried about. So it's okay, whatever your answers are, but getting honest about it. And then sometimes we realize, why was I even going after that goal? That was only so that my brother's wife would be happy with me. Or that's the only thing that's going to change, is that they won't complain anymore. But so take that one off, Misty, and come over here to this one that has 20 benefits for you, your friends, your society, your community, everyone who comes here, everyone who gets served here, everyone who serves here. This is what we're doing this for. That jazzes me up. And when you get that jazz, it's sexy. Like, it's sexy to get this excited about what I call work. So I live this, I preach this, I teach this, I practice this. I've made my entire life through quantum writing. I routinely say, I wrote that, as more and more things come true. And I'm going to share this last little example. I wrote years ago in one of my first books, I call it the collector's edition because it is done in a very poor fashion. I didn't know how to format back then. I never expected anyone would buy the book. I just wanted to practice the way of writing. So please don't go out and buy it. Just trust me, it's not put together well. But it was one of my first tries, and I just wanted to, like I said, I'm willing to start somewhere. I'm willing to go ahead and take on that risk. But I wrote in that book that one of the things I wanted, and I had a long list, but one of the things I wanted was for people to speak so kindly about me when I wasn't in the room that it was allowed to come back and provide for me. So my provision comes to my service to myself and others. So the way I serve this incredible human, I'm madly in love with this human, the way I serve her and the way I serve the people that I'm around comes back to me in referrals and people who have come here to be healed and then come back in some way that support us on the income side. So it's this beautiful reciprocity that no matter how much I give, it keeps coming back, and I give more and it keeps coming back. It's a hot potato of blessings rather than a game of catch. Every time I catch it, I'm throwing it to my friends, and they're throwing it right back around to me. So this morning, I wrote this years ago, that's what I wanted in my life. That was one of my incredible wants. And what would I have to do to make that happen? And for me, it was just absolute authenticity. And anyone who got offended with my absolute authenticity, I'm never rude, I'm never harsh. I simply speak my truth in the most loving and kind way I can. And then I allow that other person to decide what that means for them. So once I decided to do that, and I wrote in my book that my provision would come back from my service to myself and others. Today I got a call from someone that I work with one-on-one. We've collaborated a lot. We've done group things together. She was a speaker here at the campground in May. She called me to tell me that she was on a Zoom this morning, a gratitude Zoom that she does every Monday morning with another group. And she started listing people. And as she was listing them, I'm like, wait a minute, I know everyone she's talking about. And she lives in New York. I'm in Arkansas. And I'm like, hold on, I know every name she just said. And of course, I didn't know she knew those people. And she said that my name came up and that each person had either worked with me, is currently working with me. They all spoke highly about me, and they've all referred business to me and or done business with me more than one time in most cases. So what a beautiful check mark about something that I wrote in such clarity that I knew what it would look like when it happened. I knew when I would be able to check it off as I get this warm rush of gratitude from people that I've served over the last few years. And I knew what I was willing to do over the last couple of years to be known as a person that you could trust with your story. And I really appreciated her calling me. I'm grateful for those type of friends who could give me that feedback. Otherwise, I would have never known those words were shared about me. And about an hour after she and I got off the phone, I happy cried when I was on the phone with her. About an hour after she got off the phone, I got another call from another woman on that same Zoom this morning, and just filling me with love and just nourishing my soul with how much it meant to her to be on that call and be able to say, wait a minute, that was my author doula as well. I help people with self-publishing as well as running the campground. I like to say I help people with their stories, whether we need to empower them, change them, or release them, and occasionally we publish them when they'll serve others. So that's someone I helped with her story, and that way I helped her with her self-publishing. So what a beautiful way to see one of my check marks come through in a superpower way. And this is the exercise I started with 3 or 4 years ago. Well, 4 years ago, I guess, when I started the publishing journey, was what did I want? What was I willing to do to get it? And what things would change in my life if that became who I was as a person? And now I'm getting to realize that. So now I get to go back and do this exercise again. Now what do I want? And continuing to add with intention how I will learn next, how I will elevate next, what area will I use to grow my mind? My mind needs to continue to grow. Otherwise we begin to die. So I don't want to wait for something to happen to me. I want to intentionally go out and build my muscles for me. So writing, quantum writing, I can't recommend it enough. I have a free group on Facebook, Quantum Writing for Success. We also have a free reading group on Facebook where about 250 people are reading The Laws of Success with Napoleon Hill, if you want to know more about that. But I'll be sharing some of these tidbits here, and I hope we go on a beautiful quantum writing journey together. I cannot wait for you to call me or text me or message me and let me know that something that you wrote came true. It's something that I get to hear almost every single day of my life. Someone share with me that they took the time to write down with such clarity that the message had no choice in the universal laws than to find them. I love it. I'm blessed and magical in miracles every single day, and I really appreciate everyone who allows me to serve with them on this human journey. Have a beautiful day. Thank you so much. Misty Lee, Campground TBD, and my favorite nonprofit, HaydensRay.org.